Now, February is Heart Month, but as women, we should be prioritizing our cardiac health all year long. Cardiovascular disease kills more of us than all forms of cancer combined. And this week is a great reminder. It is Go Red Day tomorrow. We've got Julie Newhouse. She is with the American Heart Association. Andrea Collins is the Go Red for Women luncheon chair. Ladies, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And wearing your red. I'm saving mine, right? Let's talk about the importance of addressing women when we're talking about heart health all this month. Why this is so crucial.
Sure. You know, women are under-researched. Sometimes we're told that it's in our head or that it might be menopause or that we're too young to have heart health issues and we get turned away. And I think it's really important that as women that we talk to each other, that we advocate not only for ourselves but our friends, and we tell them to go get the help that you think you need, because it's often not in our head, because it can be the silent killer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this luncheon is a great way to bring attention to this. It is sold out, but make a note for next year. Andrea, let's talk about, why you got involved, why you think this is such an important mission.
Yes, definitely. I'm really excited about this year's event. So I attended last year as my first time actually attending, and left there just with a lot of inspiration. I met new friends and also a lot of hope, right? That there's things that we can do and things that we can talk about amongst our friends and our coworkers and our parents to really educate and kind of lift everyone. And so my hope is that this year, obviously it's sold out, which we're really excited for. We have amazing panelists that'll be there talking about various parts of nutrition, all the way to menopause. And we have a dentist this year on our panel as well, which that is a huge and a crucial piece that I just learned a few years ago myself about that connection and how it literally you need to kind of know that connection between your mouth and your heart and how it could cause heart issues and how to avoid it and educate your loved ones. So we're very excited about that and hope that people leave inspired and really kind of ready to go out in the world and go, right? Go and learn their numbers and be active and take part in your own health.
Absolutely. I mean, no one else is going to do this for us.
Exactly.
And as women, we definitely, this is such a great, point to share this knowledge with each other. Because let's talk about, too, the generations. Because you mentioned, this can happen at any age, particularly pregnant women. Things that, not everybody realizes or thinks about, that heart health should be a concern at any age for women.
Absolutely. Pregnant women, you mentioned that, and also when we're going through menopause, I mean, we can exhibit more heart issues during those times, and it's important to, like I mentioned, advocate yourself, but just know that those are times where different things can come up. And I love how Andrea mentioned that we do have a dentist on the panel, because the mouth is the gateway to the heart, and I think so many people don't realize how there's a correlation between heart health, dental health. We also have a cardiologist on board, a menopause specialist, nutritionist. So I think there's going to be so many different takeaways for the women in the audience at the Go Red luncheon, that there'll be so many aha moments, because we want red to mean go. Go know your numbers, go advocate for yourself, go learn CPR, all those things, because that's going to make us feel more empowered, because when we're all together, we are stronger together.
Absolutely. And you'd mentioned CPR. Let's talk about those numbers too, because women are less likely to be recipients of CPR in an emergency.
They are. They are. We find that women receive CPR about 23% less than men, and oftentimes I ask people, do you know why that is? And they're like, well, why would they? But it's in our anatomy. We have breasts, and people are afraid to touch those when you're administering CPR. So at the event, we will have some anatomically correct mannequins that people can actually practice cutting off the bra and, exposing the breasts and administering CPR. And because we know that we'll need to do that when the AED arrives anyway. So I think it's going to be eye-opening for a lot of people. And we want to turn our community of bystanders into a community of lifesavers by ensuring at least one person in every household knows that life-saving skill. So that will be a goal of the luncheon as well.
Okay, right. Get women signed up to take these CPR classes, right?
No, they can do demonstrations right there. Okay. So yes, definitely. we find that hands-only CPR is if you learn that, because we just want people to be confident in reacting. You don't necessarily have to take a class at all. We just want you to be able to react.
Wonderful. Anything else that we should take away today if we can't make, obviously, are not going to make it to the luncheon, things that we need to know going forward through February and the rest of the year?
Yeah, I would just say advocate for yourself, right? Go learn, talk to your friends. I find one of my greatest sources of my own health and education is my friend group, right? Our text group where we start talking about things and, do you test it? Does your dentist take your blood pressure? Well, let's talk to them about it. Things like
Absolutely.
that where just little things and just kind of being aware and then spreading the word. I think we're our best kind of defense, I guess, against this cardiovascular disease being such a huge killer of women. And just knowing that alone, and it doesn't look the same for women as it does for men, is huge. You cannot look at someone and say, well, they definitely have an issue, they don't, right? So I think it's really, truly knowing those symptoms and doing the best we can to support each other.
Absolutely. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that so much, ladies.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the luncheon. And
Thank you.
for next year, get on
Yes.
it early because this thing
Yes.
sells out, right?
Yes,
You want to
exactly.
learn more, obviously lots of helpful tips, more to learn for all of us to share with our friends, heart.org/mission.